Hey guys! So it's Alex, obviously, and this is my first blog, I think, for my Tumblr. So I'm going to continue writing for my Tumblr, obviously, but I recently met another Jet here in Japan who does YouTube vlogs, so video blogs, and blogs, of course, are like journals basically on the internet. And I thought it might be good to try doing vlogs, so please bear with me. I'm probably gonna just do this in one take, and that's fine. But I just wanted to quickly post something to talk about my life for the past 2 weeks because I haven't posted anything. I was about to post something and then I got too lazy and didn't post the pictures, but maybe I will post the pictures in a separate blog but not write anything and you can just make the connection. But yeah, the past 2 weeks have been a lot busier than previously. I went to Saitama City for our orientation session, so the third orientation now. It was really fun. The first day we went to Urawa, which is kind of closer to my town in Saitama. So Saitama City is kind of in the center of the Saitama Prefecture, go figure, and Kazo is in the northeastern part of the Saitama Prefecture. So Saitama is like northwest of Tokyo, and Kazo is like due north of Tokyo, if that makes any sense. So we went down the first day, and it was about 40 minutes by train, which is probably one of the closest things that you can go to. And it was really fun. It was mainly just workshops on like how to live in Japan, things to buy to kill bugs, things to make with Japanese ingredients, which was actually really useful because I have no idea how to cook here, and I find that getting ingredients that we're used to getting can be kind of challenging sometimes. I spend a lot of time at the store just kind of looking at things with a distressed look on my face until an employee walks by, and then I can like ask them in incredibly broken Japanese like where to find something or if something is used for a certain purpose. So anyway, so it was a really useful day in that regard. And then we talked about differences between the Japanese and American school systems. It was meant to be kind of Japanese versus Western school systems, but obviously the American school system is different from even the other English speaking countries' school systems. So England and Australia and Canada, even, maybe not so much Canada, I think Canada is more similar, are all different as well. But they were more just trying to explain to us how the Japanese school system, the teachers' roles in their students' lives are quite a bit different. Teachers often spend a lot more time at work. Obviously, they work the longest hours in the world, I guess, in terms of teachers. Not that American teachers don't put in, I think, a lot of work as well. I definitely noticed that my high school and university professors worked really long hours and put a lot of hard work into correcting. But Japanese educators, I think, just put in even more work because their students put in more work. So it's kind of just this mutual never going home and not really having a life. So we were told more just to not judge that and to find that normal. Not that we're expected to stay super long hours. Recently, I have had a bit of extra work and I've had to stay until about 6 or 7. But I still felt guilty for leaving because even the other ALT at my school was still there working. So I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. People will literally stay until like 9 or 10 o'clock and then go home and I don't know, go to sleep and then wake up and go back. So anyway, it was a good day for the first day, and then they provided us with a free tea ceremony workshop, which was really fun. I had gone to a tea ceremony back last summer in Kobe, which is really far south Japan, and it was a little bit different, so this one was quite fun. The main feature of a tea ceremony is you eat a little sweet. It's like a kind of like a bean paste ball. It's always kind of amazing. And then you drink tea, and you have to say all these weird Japanese things that I don't know what they mean. The main thing you say is you turn to the person to your left, so to your left for you on the camera, I don't know. And you say, osaki ni, which means I'm going to drink before you. And then the person, I guess, just says dozo, or I don't know, like, go ahead. I have no idea. And then you drink, and at some point you're supposed to also thank the person for making the tea, which I forgot how to say that. Apparently, you can also just say itadakimasu, which is like I'm going to eat or drink or something. Apparently, you can say that. Like we can say that as foreigners. So if you ever have to do a tea ceremony, these are the basic rules. And then so the first day was good, and then another jet. Her name is also Alex. Came back with me that night, and we had a really good time and had a good dinner and just kind of chatted and kind of vented about some of our stresses here so far. Not that either of us have been overly stressed, but just kind of living in a foreign country can be stressful. And then the second day we met at a museum in Omiya, which is actually closer to Kazo than Urawa, but still part of the Saitama city conglomerate. And that was really cool because they gave us free access to the museum during one of our workshops. And then the two other workshops were just skills development workshops. So other veteran jets, Japanese English teachers or English teachers in Japan put a few workshops together for us, and we did activities and kind of learned how to make games and how to deal with awkward extra 10 minutes at the ends of lessons that you might have, because it just depends on the teacher that you're team teaching with. But sometimes during our classes we find that maybe we'll have like 10 extra minutes and you just don't know what to do with it. And then the other classes usually are so busy that you're just trying to stuff everything in. So that was good. And yeah, I met a lot of really cool people. The Saitama Jet community is very, very closely knit. They have a good Facebook group. Japan definitely, the Jet program has divided itself up by prefectures. So I will primarily be interacting with Saitama Jets. I'm sorry, I'm drinking some beer. It's kind of disgusting. It's Asahi Clear. It's still 6% alcohol though. Oh my god. Anyway, and then after that we went to a cat cafe in Omiya, Neko Cafe. Neko means cat. And it was really, really fun. You basically pay, like, the cafe part's kind of deceptive because it's not a cafe. It's really just like an internet cafe where you kind of pay for time, like for the atmosphere. So it's 1,000 yen, which is about $9 US, and you get to just spend an hour playing with cats. And they have drinks, but they're the same drinks that you can buy at a vending machine, which vending machines are literally everywhere here. Like every street corner you will find a vending machine, and they're about the same prices as they would be at a vending machine. So you're more just paying for the cats. But there are so many cats, and they're all adorable, and they dress them up in costumes, and they were quite friendly to us as foreigners. So that was great. I should probably cut this short fairly soon because it's going to be kind of a big file, but I have so much more to say. So then last week was slow at work. We've more just been getting to interact with our other teachers, and they've been really great. One in particular has been very, very friendly with me and the other Australian ALT at my school. Very like mellow for a Japanese person. I shouldn't even say that. He's just a mellow person. Being Japanese doesn't really necessarily mean that you're uptight, but he's just a very mellow person. And in terms of being our teacher, he's kind of in a similar role because he's also a contracted teacher, meaning that he is recontracted from year to year, which is just our position as well. So we don't have a guaranteed position here. Every year we have to reapply, and then they reevaluate whether or not they would like to pay us again for another year. So in terms of I think in terms of power play, it sort of puts us in a similar role, but he's still obviously above us, and we still go with him. We consult him for a lot of our issues. I actually found a gym near my house that's literally a minute away. Like, it's just at the end of the block. I don't know how I didn't find it sooner. And it's just like one room, like a studio gym with weights. There's no cardio equipment. There's a really ancient treadmill, and people do use it, but I don't really see the point of using a treadmill at this point because it's nice outside. And he came with me to the gym and helped me kind of figure out how the gym worked. Thankfully, it's this really, really old, bald Japanese guy, like really old, who just sits around and watches people work out and charges you $80 a month basically, which is expensive, but like it's so close and it's still like a pretty functioning gym. Some of the equipment is like weird. And I'm definitely not a workout buff by any means. I'm not a gym rat, but I did sort of get used to certain exercises last semester, and this equipment has been a little bit challenging, just figuring out how to modify my exercises to get the same rhythm and routine going. But anyway, he came with that. He came with me and helped me do that. So he's been really nice, and I also like locked my bank card. And apparently, if you lock your bank card here, your bank card is just permanently deactivated. You can't go to the bank and like give them your ID and they reactivate it. No, you have to like buy a new card, which is really awful. It's as though you lost your card. But he came with me and helped me figure that out, which was really annoying. The whole time I was just like scoffing at them, like, really, I have to pay you 1,000 yen, which is $9 to like get a new card when I have my card right here. You just have to fix it for me. So yeah, that was super fun. And then I guess not a lot else has happened. Today was the first day of classes officially at Fudoka, and they had an assembly in their gym, and it was the most adorable thing ever. So it started out with me and the other ALT giving our introductory speeches, and the other ALT is quite good at Japanese, so their speech was delivered both in Japanese and English, which is totally okay. That person has a good level and should be using it and practicing. I did not do my speech in Japanese. I did introduce myself to the teachers at the teacher staff meeting in the morning, because teachers have a meeting every morning. And I did give my speech in English and Japanese, but that's only because another Japanese teacher basically wrote out what I should say in Japanese, and I practiced like 3 times and then I read it. But I think it was okay. So we gave our introductory speeches at the assembly, and then the students had put together some displays for the whole school. It was funny. I was talking to Kyoto Sensei, one of the vice principals. That's what we call the vice principal, Kyoto Sensei. And I was saying, "Oh, are the students going to put together some presentations for us?" And I don't know why, but she thought that by us I meant just me and the other ALT. And so her response was like, "Yeah, but it's not just for you." And so that was kind of an awkward misunderstanding, because of course when I say us, I mean like us, the whole school, or us, the staff. So that was really awkward. But anyway, so they put together a choir performance, and the choir is amazing. They sang some really beautiful German song, and the male vocals were super talented male vocals. I mean, these are teenage boys, like, singing in these deep operatic voices, which was amazing. And then, after that, I was nearly in tears. And then we got to see traditional Japanese cheerleading, which is really different from American cheerleading. So it is quite traditional. They kind of do both. Like, they have American cheerleaders, but that wasn't the focus of this particular performance. So Japanese cheerleaders start out by like kind of being really funny, and like they run onto the stage and speak really, really, really fast and make a lot of jokes and like are really wild and physical, and then they leave and then they run back on and they're just talking a lot and shouting, like, I think they say like "Gambatte," like "do your best," like, I don't know, that kind of stuff. "Fudoka's the best." I don't know. I didn't understand a lot of it. I did hear "Gambatte" a lot. And then they, at one point, one of the girls ran on, and she was shouting stuff, but she was doing it more like serious. So by that point, it was like serious cheerleading, and there was some person with a gigantic drum, and they were banging it, and it was just crazy, super loud. And then some other person was a flag bearer, and the flag was like this huge flag, like it barely fit into the gymnasium, and the teachers were kind of worried it was gonna like hit some of the wires that were hanging from the ceiling, so that was kind of intense. And then they did finally bring in like American cheerleaders, in the sense that they were dressed in cheerleading uniforms that said Fudoka. It was really adorable. But all they did was just like do like salutes during, like, in rhythm with the other traditional cheerleaders, and like helped sing the Fudoka song, which I don't know the words to. Sorry. But that was their only role. So the American style cheerleaders didn't do anything like gymnastics related or dance related. It was just the traditional ones. But it was very, very interesting. And the traditional cheerleader costume is a long coat with like long pants, and they have like a headband with stuff written on it, and gloves. And the gloves, like their hands are very important. Like they do a lot of hand synchronization. So it was quite cool. But yeah, that's probably about it in terms of what I've been up to lately. I'm sure I'll post more things. I'll post like a few stories or something, but we'll see how long I can keep up this video blogging. Let me know if you like it. If you don't, like, let me know. I'll just start writing some more, but okay. Good luck. Gambate.